The College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks Edition for Friday night, December the 20th edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with that promo code, baby, TCE SGPN to get a 50% deposit up to $1,000. That is the Underdog Fantasy, promo code TCE SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sportsbook available in 45 states. Download that Rebet app in the App Store. Promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. Rebet promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And last but not least, we're brought to you by the SGPN College Football Playoff Challenge. Free to enter a $1,000 grand prize. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFP. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFP today. Welcome, everybody, into the College Basketball Experience, baby. Friday night, December the 20th. And, oh, man, we got some good ones here. Recapping Thursday night. Looking ahead to Friday. Pick Dundee is out on assignment tonight. So filling in as your co-host, I guess. I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Beer tastes good tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Good time of year, you know. Work's winding down, more time, holiday season, more time to drink, gamble. What else can you ask for in life? Welcome to the American Dream. And joining me to talk college hoops, you guys know him as a window banging, drywall hanging, LeBaron driving. He is Noah Bieniek, a.k.a. Noah B77. What's up, bro?
How we doing, Mac? Good stuff today. I had a winning day, 2-1. Colby not here because he's putting the finishing touches on SGPN East, his home studio. He's got a crew in there working, helping him out as he's still on baby duty as well. So all hands on deck over there at the Dundee household with that project. It'll be finished tonight. He's going to have it for the beginning of the college football playoffs. So that is why he's absent tonight. We told him, hey, if the crew heads out and you have the time, don't be afraid to pop in, and we'll see if that is the case. But yes, I had a 2-1 day. Mac was 7-7. Colby 5-5. We're gonna run through everything that happened throughout the day. Mac is gonna help us digest a lot of the action, and then we'll get into a small but fun Friday slate here before we get into another massive mega Saturday slate here. Mac, anything else that you want to mention here before we jump into this slate?
The message continues, and I see it in the chat. Quit being a jack fuck and get on over there and subscribe. We just cracked 14-3, closing in on that number. Like I said on the pregame show, the ball's in your court. I can't do anything other than yell at you and say, you won't see me after January 1st. If we don't get to that 15K number, I'll be on a yacht somewhere with Dan Snyder doing who knows what. So, yeah, see you later.
And shout out to Cody, too. Shout out to Cody, too. I already see him in the chat. Got a nice DM from him today letting me know that the TCE family grew by 2. Congratulations to him on having his twins healthy and happy on day 1. All good. I think it was Cash and Chloe, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, welcome to the TCE family. Another 2 more strong for sure. That's congratulations, dude. That is awesome. And good luck is my message. Brother. Good luck. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You don't get the test run with only one. You get two right off the bat. Oh man, good luck.
Let's tell Cody right now. Cody, I love you. You will not be in Las Vegas this year for March Madness. Not with two newborns that will be what? They'll be closing in on 4 months old at that time. I don't think the old lady's gonna let you swing that one. So we'll get you out there next year. I have a couple for you. But yes, cheers, brother. Congratulations on being a father of two, and enjoy the ride, man. You'll probably blink and they'll be graduating high school before you know it. And we'll all be fucking old, washed up.
Mac hitting you with a slap of reality there. Yeah, I mean, Cody, he doesn't do things in singles, only parlays. So congratulations, my friend. We begin things on the recap of today's slate with one of the early games. Norfolk State drowned a double lock by double digits as the Spartans win 71-54 over Alabama State here, Mac.
Yeah, Alabama State's killing me. So unfortunately, we no Gottlieb news here today. So it was not an eventful afternoon like it was yesterday. So let's Norfolk State, man, they punch him in the mouth. Better team. I think up 16, 17 and a half. I had it on in the background of the pregame. I can't really give you a deep analysis because I was doing the Big 12 show at 5 and then the pregame show at 6. So, and even Ryan and Rush at 4:30. So I literally had 3 straight shows while this was going on. So I just saw it in the background. Looked like they kicked their ass from what I saw. Oh shit, Rob is right. Rice did lose a fucking non-1.
They did.
I forgot that game was going on.
They lost to a North Texas branched school. It was North Texas, UNT Dallas, North Texas Dallas. So, I mean, Denton and Dallas are basically fucking 5 minutes away from each other. But, Rice lost 69-68 to North Texas Dallas there. Tough for Rob Lanier, going back to back with I don't know if Gottlieb is the company that you want to be in as a head coach of a mid-major.
Noah, they should have lost to fucking Alcorn on Monday night. They were trailing a majority of the second half. So, yeah, Rice is the Rice guys are not looking so Rice. I don't know.
As
Rice
Trevor
guys
says. As Trevor says, yeah, Rice lost, but they didn't call North Texas Dallas Nobody U, and their coach doesn't have a national radio show, so it didn't match as the same as Gottlieb's loss. LOL. I
Is
agree.
Gottlieb back on that today?
I don't listen to that show, dude.
I don't listen to it either. I get too busy during these fucking days, and I don't have time to listen to that shit. The only other shows I listen to are SGPNs. So yeah.
Shout out to 357. He goes, Mac and Noah, should we take Notre Dame +7? Well, I think Indiana's +7. So let us know what side you want, whether you want Notre Dame -7 or Indiana. And we'll
Hoosiers. Let's go.
I'm on the Indiana side here too. I'm rooting for IU. I'm rooting for all of the dogs in that first round matchup. I think it'll be hilarious if we can get the 12, 11, 10, and 9 to all win. And that's what I'm rooting for, honestly. So, also rooting against the SEC. I wouldn't be upset if Tennessee lost. I wouldn't be upset if what's their name lost, Texas. So, yeah, that would be my ultimate dream scenario.
You have to be rooting for Tennessee, though, right?
No. I want Ohio State to win the championship and say that it didn't mean anything. That would be the best thing ever, to say they still not happy with their head coach after winning a championship.
I got the best scenario for you, and I talked about it in the Big 12 show. Ohio State goes all the way to the national championship and loses on a game-losing field goal like they did to Georgia after they lost the Michigan game a couple years ago.
Yeah,
they're forced to keep Ryan Day, and their fans are just so fucking bitter. That would be absolutely fantastic to see Ohio State losing the national championship. They don't get the national championship. They lose to Michigan, but they're stuck with Ryan Day.
Yeah, you sold me on that. Yes, you sold me on that. I don't want Ohio State to follow up a Michigan national championship.
No,
give me that scenario, and that'll be better. That'll 100% be better. I'm honestly, if Ohio State I'm rooting for Ohio State to make it run. That way they say that it doesn't mean anything because we still lost to one of the worst Michigan teams in the last decade. Just be hilarious. But yeah, speaking of college football playoff, thank you very much for the $10 tip 357 that got us onto that conversation there. But Georgia in basketball, holy fuck, they put Buffalo to pasture by 51 points here. They dropped 100 on them.
Dude, Georgia's a wagon this year. What do we think of them headed into SEC play? I was thinking about the SEC earlier today.
I've said they were a sleeper the entire way, but I didn't realize that the SEC was going to be this good.
I know. So somebody's going to have to struggle.
Yeah, I had Georgia, I think, like 11th or 10th in my rankings, but in my preseason predictions. But I mean, I still think that probably happens, but the SEC is much better than I thought it was going to be. Like right now, the only team that I'm not very impressed with, I think, out of the SEC. I'm going to take a quick look.
We got time, Noah, tonight because we only have 16 games tomorrow. And we're only recapping like 14. Yeah. If you had to do the teams in the SEC right now, would you go?
I was just going to say the only team that I don't really love this season in the SEC is LSU. I think LSU's 16 for me. 15, 14, 13 are Missouri, South Carolina, Arkansas. And then I've got like Texas just above them. Everybody else, I don't know what's going to happen.
I think Auburn and Tennessee are probably the top tier.
Yeah, but I could see like them having the target on their back and like you're going on road environments in the SEC, you're going to drop some games.
And then I think Florida, Alabama, A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Kentucky, like all those teams right there, I think those are like kind of Final Four contender or second weekend at least contenders. I actually think Florida can win the whole thing. I'm actually starting to buy into Florida with those guards. Yeah. I mean, obviously,
so it's the guards and they're aggressive on the glass.
Yeah,
like they don't have the greatest front court, but they're aggressive, and I guess that makes up for it a little bit.
Yeah, and Ole Miss, I think they're really good. Oklahoma, I don't know how good Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma's undefeated, but I saw this last year too, and then they got beat up in league play. They feel phony. I actually think Texas could be like one of the worst teams. I don't think they're very good. They have talent, but I think Rodney Terry is by far the worst coach in the league.
How many tournament teams?
13.
13 is more than 12. What I was holding.
Yeah. Up there. I mean, they got everybody in, maybe 12. Shit, they got 13 out of their 16 in the top 50.
Yes, they do. 357 saying congrats to Noah on Merrimack and Mac on the Wyoming. Mac, I think we triple locked Merrimack, right?
No, I had St. Mary's. I ate shit on that, but I did have Wyoming.
So Colby and I were both on Merrimack there in a lock battle, I guess. But yeah, thank you to 357 once again there. But yeah, I mean, SEC's for real. We've been saying this for pretty much, even in the preseason, I was calling for them to be even better than the Big 12. That looks like they've left them in the rearview mirror at this point. This is a historic start to the season. We'll jump to a lock of mine that cashed here. Might have been a lock battle. North Alabama against Charleston Southern. North Bama laying 8.5, and they win by 17 against the Bucks.
Yep, and I like these shorter episodes where we can dive into some teams that we don't give enough pub to. I mean, I know I do the team of the week, but we got to shout out to one of our own, Team TCE, Tony Pujol, doing a good job there, 8-4. They've won 3 in a row. They're really good at home, like you highlighted, and they got a stud, dude, at the guard position. Jakari Lane's the real deal.
Yeah.
dude, this is a contender in the A-Sun. I can confidently say that. I know Lipscomb's really good, but North Alabama ain't far behind them.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I still think Lipscomb's probably my favorite and team to beat in the A-Sun. But yeah, North Alabama is good. They had 4 guys in double digits tonight scoring wise, and yeah, Jakari Lane is he's really good. So I didn't pop in on this game, but I picked Cleveland State on the picks page last night. They stomped Oakland. To me, it seemed like a Oakland, they went all the way in on the Michigan State spot. And then this one was a little bit of a comeback down the earth, in my opinion. So I wish I jumped in to maybe try and persuade you, but I didn't want to get pulled into a lock battle because I didn't feel great about it. But yeah, you guys both locked Oakland. NC Nick had Oakland on the picks page too.
Yeah.
Cleveland State 92-75 final.
Yeah, Campy, soft spot for Campy got us. They went through a big scoring drought to end the first half, and then to start the second half. Cleveland State kicked their ass. Cleveland State quietly playing better basketball over the last month or so. I know they started off rough. They got drilled by Michigan. They got drilled by somebody else too. But, I mean, they've won 3 in a row. I know one of those is Green Bay, but they beat them by 25. They beat Oakland by 17. And then they just had two hard losses to Milwaukee and Moorhead. So 7-6 with a D2 on Sunday. So they'll be 8-6 headed into Wright State next week. They're middle of the pack.
It's a good place to be. Yeah, the other team they lost by double digits to was Kansas State. So not the greatest loss there. And again, I reiterate, I'm not totally sold on Michigan either. So I feel like there are better bye games to get pummeled in. We'll see at the end of the year. Delaware State 73-60 win over Grambling there. You were on the Grambling State side of things. Colby and I took Delaware State last night. Did you catch any of this game?
No, I got a tweet saying horrible pick. I was like, I didn't even bet this game. What are you talking about? I have to pick every game. Yeah, Grambling's a mess, which means I'll probably take them tomorrow because they have a back-to-back. But yeah, Delaware State, the line stinking again for Grambling did not come through. 2 straight times as a favorite. They've ate shit.
Yeah. One of the better games of the day. And this was not kind of the game script that I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a little bit more high scoring, but Middle Tennessee State defends home floor against the in-state rival Lipscomb. But everybody on the picks page got this thing through. You got a 2.5. So shout out to you for getting the best of this number here. You locked that up. Colby locked up the 1.5 last night on the show. I was also on the 1.5 on the picks page there, but this was a great game. Like I said, it didn't kind of go as I kind of predicted it could, but dude, Ognjenovic, this is like year number 3 for him, where he's just been a monster for the Bison.
Yeah, what would he go for, like 32? I like the big kid for Middle Tennessee, Mustafa, or I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah,
he gets a lot done, and I like Middle's athleticism, man. They get after you. This is just a good win. McDevitt, they're having a really good year. Just looking at it, I mean, 9-3. They go to Knoxville, so they'll be 9-4 after that, and then Conference USA will start. This is obviously, it's only going to be a 1-bid league, but you got to. I mean, where do we put them in Conference USA? I would say them, Western Kentucky, Sam Houston, Louisiana Tech, and Liberty as the top 5.
Yeah, this was the other thing that I was harping on in the preseason. Conference USA is going to be so fun to watch this year. They were my favorite mid-major conference. Liberty, Louisiana Tech, I think are the top 2 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Then you got the 2 with really good home courts in Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee, and then Sam Houston, who I don't think has had the greatest start to the season by their standards, but they've returned everybody from a regular season championship in the Conference USA. So I think those 5 were the same 5 that I kind of predicted to be near the top of this conference. And just outside of that, you got UTEP. And I've actually been pretty surprised by how Jacksonville State's gotten up in a couple of spots. So
good coach.
Yeah, I think the very top of this league is one of these teams. I'm not sure Liberty or Louisiana Tech could maybe go on a run and get at large here. Liberty's only loss is FAU overtime on a neutral. That's a good loss. And then Louisiana Tech has 2 losses. Southern's rough, and then at Memphis isn't bad, but I don't know if they'll be in position come end of regular season to be in that large conversation. But one of the teams that get out of the Conference USA is pulling off a win as an underseeded mid-major against the higher seeded team in the NCAA tournament. I predicted that preseason, standing by it. This league is so fun to watch.
That, or at least they'll take whoever they play in the first round to the wire. But yeah, it obviously depends on matchups. But yeah, this league's pulled off upsets in the past. I mean, Middles beat Sparty, Western Kentucky's beating multiple teams. Liberty's won in the tournament. Who else do we say? I think those are the 3 that really.
It's tough to go historical because this conference has changed hands so many times. So, but yeah, Conference USA is for real this year. Don't take it lightly, I would say. One of the bigger discussions from last night's show, you actually jumped down a side here. So this was a double lock, I guess, on the picks page. You had UT Martin with Colby. Colby and I were in a big time discussion on this one last night. Martin led this thing by double digits for most of it. I felt like I was on the wrong side of this all the way through. Morehead State forced overtime. They then went on a crazy run in the final minute overtime to actually win this game 70-69. But I would say the cover was never really in doubt for the Skyhawks in this game. I was on the wrong side.
Moneyline Mac, aka the OVC guru here. The road dogs go 4-1, and I was thinking about why the road dogs do so well early, is because if you think about it, Noah, if you look at all these guys' non-con schedules, they're playing bye games the whole month of November.
Yeah, they're all.
They're playing in a hostile environment, so when they hit the road to go to like Moorhead or Little Rock or SEMO, and some of these other ones where there's no students, it's a piece of cake. And then the other side of it is they're not used to playing home games yet. They haven't played. I mean, they played a couple D2s, but it's the reverse where the high majors struggle early in league on the road, and they have to find a way to start winning in these hostile environments. We usually see it come around early February where teams start finding a way to win on the road. It's like the opposite in these little leagues like the OVC. They're used to playing in hostile environments on the road, and they go to a gym where there's 500 people. They're like, oh, this is nice. And the home team isn't used to playing at home. And so this game kind of went how I thought it would, right down to the wire. Typical OVC game, back and forth, shit show, missed calls. Moorhead erases like a 4-point lead on a steal on the inbounds layup. They win by 1. OVC's awesome. This league is so open.
Yeah, good point. Good points by you all the way around, I think, and it matches at least going back to last year. This was the 3rd least amount of home teams won in this conference last year. They were ranked 28th in home team win percentage, only at 54.5%. 54 home teams out of 99 games last season in conference play. The home team won, so it's just a total shit show there. And
Noah, who were the 2 best teams last year? Moorhead and Martin. They lost their coaches. Spradlin goes to JMU. Ritter goes over to Mercer. So it's even more balanced, in my opinion, this year. Total shit show. This league's, when in doubt, take the points in this fucking fucked up league.
Yeah, but Little Rock was that one team, right, that covered the home game today. So
I had Edwardsville plus 4.5.
Oh, you got a 4.5?
I had a 4.5.
Yeah, they won by 4. Yeah, they won by 4. So
guy missed a free throw. I go, oh yeah, OVC voodoo. Here we go. and then for whatever reason they fouled the guy on a 3-point shot. I mean, they were up like 9 with like a minute left and started doing dumb shit like the OVC always does.
Yeah, that's good points all the way around. Yeah. Speaking of good points all the way around, I guess. Check out SGPN's first annual college football playoff challenge. You can pick sides and totals for every game with a chance to win a $1,000 grand prize. It's free to enter. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFP. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFP. And Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all of sports. You can win up to 1000x with Underdog streaks. Underdog is always making it easier to win with profit boosts and gimme pick'ems. NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NHL, NASCAR, and more. You can now use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. And with the promo code TCE SGPN, you can claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. And the college basketball experience is also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities that are available on Rebet, and it's easy to use and great for people in states where traditional sports books may be restricted. Download Rebet in the App Store and use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. And we're back here on the college basketball experience. Myself, Noah Bieniek, joined alongside my friend here, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. We're recapping the December 19th slate of college basketball. And there was another amazing matchup that ended in just a flaming bag of dog shit for my friend Mac and also Colby. Irvine pulls off a miraculous double-digit turnaround comeback here at Belmont. Hell of a win for the Anteaters, and it spoiled a double lock from last night's show as Mac and Colby had the Bruins plus 2.5. That was even the pick that I had here in this matchup. Hell of a second half from UCI here.
Yeah, would they outscore them 67-45 or whatever? Yeah, I mean, I don't regret the pick. I mean, they led by double digits 30 minutes of this fucking game. Had the lead for 35 minutes, but you give Irvine credit, man. Their size wore Belmont down throughout, and that's a big gut check win. Sorry. They're coming off the loss to Oregon State on Saturday. They got hit in the mouth tonight. I mean, they were getting their ass kicked in the first half. Belmont was running circles around them, making threes. Drawing the big kid from Irvine, Luketon or whatever, however the hell you pronounce it. And they kept fighting, and he goes for 23 and 15, and Irvine gets to 10-1, and Irvine's had a hell of a non-con, and they finished with Duquesne on Friday. A quick turn again for these Anteaters.
Scheduling tough in the non-conference. Hell of a bounce back victory after the Beavers lost there. What were you going to say?
I said they've been on the road for a lot. Like it's not like they've padded this thing like with neutral sites and stuff. I mean, they've won at Loyola Marymount. They've won at Northern Iowa. They've won at Weber State. They've won at Belmont now. I mean, they've won in pretty good mid-majors. The only one
Duquesne was a tournament team last year, so they scheduled that thinking that the Dukes might be okay this year. They're going to stomp them there. That's my prediction, anyways. At least. But yeah, I mean, then at Cal Baptist, at Cal Poly, a huge road trip here that they're on right now.
Dude, they're not scared of anybody.
Yeah, the Cal Poly one, that's just a tough draw from the conference scheduling them first road game. But other than that, it might have been viewed as a little bit of a cupcake for UC Irvine, the conference favorite going into first game of conference play against the team that didn't win a game in the Big West last year. But all of a sudden, Cal Poly looks legit. So it's like, oh, maybe that's not as easy as we thought that was scheduling it a month ago.
No.
But go ahead.
At large, resume wise, if they win at Duquesne and they win, even if they drop Cal, they probably got to get the Cal Baptist one. They probably got
they can't have a blemish out anywhere else because the only thing that they don't have is a key win. So that's what I would say is like the one hole on this.
That is Iowa. That's pretty fucking good.
I don't know if it's good enough to be like, hey, they've only got this win at UNI. You know, like I don't know if that's going to be enough to carry a resume that I'll be nice and say could have 4 losses, right? 3 losses in conference. Oregon State, who we're not predicting them to be a tournament team this year. They still got Oregon State and St. Mary's in the WCC. So it's like they just don't have that key win is the only thing that I would point out and say they just got to take care of business. Just keep winning the games that are on your schedule. And you can be like a Florida Atlantic from 2 years ago where you go 3 losses, you're should have been a 7 seed, but they were a 9 seed. They got comfortably in and they had a favorable draw. You know, once they beat Memphis, they got a 16 seed and they were able to run the table. UC Irvine looks like they could be that team in my opinion there because
they're 1-1 in quad 1 win. So I guess the Northern Iowa is the quad 1, and then Oregon State a loss on the road is because they're 38 in the net. So they're like you said, Noah, they're in position. They probably can drop. Well, you know what game they can drop? They can lose to UC San Diego one time.
On the road. I don't know if you can even lose to them at home.
We'll see. Yeah. So. I mean, UC San Diego, what are they in the net? Just out of curiosity. They're 57. So if they at least don't get swept by them and they run the table the rest of the games, they should be in that large candidate.
Yeah, I hate to break the news to you, though. They're not running the table in the Big West. Big West is good this year.
I know. That's why. All right, so let's say they lose one to UC San Diego and then they lose another one to Santa Barbara. Like they have one decently bad loss. Are they Indiana State of last year then?
Yep.
It's fucking bullshit. I like the Irvine team. They're good.
They are legit. I just that's tough because like yes, they scheduled super tough. They've got a bunch of road games here, but they just Oregon State might have been that key win, but they weren't able to get it. You know, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be enough here. But let's move on from a little bit of a dire talk when that was such a fire game. Irvine pulling off a double digit. It was like a 16-point lead that Belmont had. Sorry to rub that back into your face, but yeah. You want to talk about another lock that I think you had in the wraps for most of this? Texas beats New Orleans 98-62. You had locked up UNO at 34.5. They lose by 36.
Phony ass cover this was. Fucking the Pope goes for 42. He makes 7 straight threes in the second half.
Crazy run.
Dude, it was a 14-point game with like 11 minutes left. This fucking Texas team sucks. I was so pissed. This is a great handicap by me. They were so asleep in this game. Nobody was at this game, which is another point. Rodney Terry better watch out. They got money in the SEC. If they fucking go 7th, 15th, 16th place, and they're not selling that thing out like it should be, he better watch out. But yeah, they fucking New Orleans. What a joke. And then they fouled. And then they fouled at the end to lose by 36. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. We talked about this when we were talking about the SEC a little bit, just like the tiers of it. And the reason why Texas is down, and I didn't jump into this because I knew we had this game coming up. Texas is 10-2 this season. Their losses are Ohio State on a neutral in Las Vegas by 8. They were never competitive in that game. It was double digits for a lot of it against an Ohio State team that hasn't looked good in December. Okay. And then they lost at home to UConn. UConn might be figuring things out, but still, UConn had a rough stretch of 3 games in Maui. So still like kind of, I don't know what we're getting from Texas this year because here are the wins. Houston Christian, Chicago State, Valley State, Mississippi Valley State. Yes, the worst team in college basketball. They also played Chicago State, who's the second worst team in college basketball this year. Delaware State, New Mexico State, Arkansas Pine Bluff, New Orleans, and then they have 3 top 110 wins. Syracuse, stock down. St. Joe's, stock down, in my opinion.
They needed
NC
Texas
State.
Tech to win that game. They needed Texas Tech to beat St. Joe's to have a
And
shot at Texas Tech.
And then they won at NC State. Kudos to you for going on the road and getting a win, but stock down on NC State too. But like none of those three teams that they have wins over are great. Ohio State, I don't know. Like they look like they could be taking on some water here in the non-conference. UConn's probably the one good loss of the two. But yeah, I think Texas is a paper tiger. We also had Little Rock win 57-48. This is a wrong score, isn't it? Little Rock won 60-56.
I think you already did that one.
Well, I mentioned it during the OVC.
Oh,
when
yeah.
we talked about it.
Yeah, crazy game.
So I was just doing through it.
Yeah. Shout out to Edwardsville for by the hook. Hopefully you got the best number. You may have pushed. If you waited till right before tip, you lost. Crazy game. Crazy. OVC game is my way to describe this game. Little Rock has issues with.
You've got to take this one up for, with Tally Site, by the way, because they got the final score. They must have just inputted it wrong. It happens. We're all human. They inputted a 9-point loss. You have it 4.5. You didn't get the cover on our site.
Oh, so yeah.
You have one less lock win here.
Hello. Fix your fucking website. Just kidding. I like Tally Site.
Just kidding. Yeah, but Colby got a good number at 3.5 there. Also, another OVC road team on the ATS and the money line here. Tennessee Tech, 2.5-point dogs. They win 79-73 at Lindenwood. Anything you want to add on this one?
Yeah, they were the better team. They led for a majority of the second half, led at halftime. OVC 0-1 team needs a game like blood. They found a way. Good job at Lindenwood, who they were the team of the week in the OVC. That's an auto fade. Lindenwood, Lang Points is the OVC team of the week last week for me. I had to fade him.
Oh, Mac, he just softens them up and then just
they retweeted me too. I like Lindenwood, but no. I had to fade him here. Good win, Pelfrey. He was Team TCE this summer.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that this OVC team won, though, and that's Southern Indiana, our Screaming Eagles. They win 77-75. But again, you took the points with the road team in OVC. It covered. You had the 4.5 with Tennessee State. A picks page lock battle with NC Nick. So good W there for you. Did you catch any of this game?
Hell yeah. I tweeted out. I had all 5 OVC games on at once. It was fantastic. It was some bad basketball, but it was entertaining at least. Tennessee State fucking gave this game away. They should be 1-0 in league play. This was a great game. Southern Indiana, the little white kid makes it. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Makes a big time shot at the end from the elbow, step back, big time win. Where those are the games in the OVC where the difference of you finishing 9-9 and like 11-7 or 12-6. You find ways to win games that you don't have it that night.
Campion.
Southern Indiana didn't play well, and they found a way to win.
Campion, the little white kid.
Yes, he was awesome in the Bellarmine game. Yes, he's a dog. I need to remember. I'm bad with names, but I can tell you what they look like and how they shoot the ball. And he was great. He fucked up Bellarmine when they were down 20 and they came all the way back. Yeah, shout out to the Screaming Eagle.
Speaking of fucking up Bellarmine, hell of a call here with Wyoming, 92-55.
30 and a half.
Anything you want to add on this one?
No. A 4-game losing streak, back at home finally, and you get the Staples. No, thank you. When the line dropped a 1.5 against me, I knew I was good. I was like, oh, yeah, everybody's on Bellarmine tonight. Yeah, good luck.
It's crazy how that's been this year. It's been
CLV
quite noticeable.
Teeth kicked in this year.
Yes, it is. SEMO wins 79-72. This is the one cover by a home team in the OVC. And, of course, you and Colby double-locked EIEIO with Eastern Illinois, right?
Yeah, and EIU had a fucking 3 there to fucking backdoor the shit out. I was like, oh my God, we're going to go 5-0 on road dogs. But I'll take 4-1 on my road OVC dogs opening night. SEMO played well, though. SEMO made some shots in the second half and run away. I'm glad that there were not many games tonight so I could get some eyes on these OVC teams because I feel like they're hard to watch in the non-con because they just play bye game after bye game and they get killed. So,
go Beavs. I guess it pays to spend a couple of years on the coaching staffs in the OVC, right?
Oh, yeah. I love the OVC, man. Well, but it's different now. I would say the same thing about all these other average-ass, below-average teams. But at the time I was there, Austin Peay, we were good. Jack State was good, but they weren't the two heavy hitters. We had Belmont and Murray. Murray had fucking John Morant, and Belmont had Dylan Windler. So, like,
EKU was in there, right?
Huh?
EKU is in there too, right?
Oh shit, EKU was in there. Yeah, EKU with the AW. So yeah, the top 5 teams are not in there anymore. And everything I said about the home court, throw that out for Belmont and Murray. Murray had fucking they had pros and they had a home court advantage. So
yeah. And
we were good. Fuck, we won 20 games back-to-back years. And we had Terry Taylor's with I think he's with the Bulls now. So yeah, it was we beat up on these other teams. Us 5 up top. We would beat the shit out of all these 10 teams in the basement.
Yeah,
these teams now suck. I love them, but they're not very good.
The poor OVC's kind of been gutted with the realignment, and it sucks. But still good basketball. A lot of these teams kind of the same caliber of talent this season, so it'll be parity driven for sure. Long Beach State goes on the road and knocks it off Pepperdine. This was a battle between two teams that had 3 games winning streaks, and the Dirtbags plus 6.5 cash a lock for you as they win 79-76.
Yeah, who's Pepperdine to be laying points? Take the Beach.
Yeah,
Beach is playing better, man. Beach is starting to buy in to oh God, the guy from San Diego State. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Acker's.
Yeah,
they've won what 4 in a row now.
Yeah.
Yep.
The World Tour, our Cougars, only lost by 24. They were getting undressed at one point. I remember looking at this, and it was like mid-20s lead with like 10 minutes to go, and GC was just never able to open it up for the cover for you as you locked up the Antelopes, and they only win by 23.
They played with their food. They could have named their score. They could have won by 50 if they wanted to. I don't know. Maybe they're going to be different in league play, but they kind of lack that killer this year, in my opinion.
Yep. South Dakota on the road loses to Dixie State, aka Utah Tech, 92-87. And then the final game of the night.
They choked.
What'd you say?
They choked.
I didn't catch this.
Big time. Dude, they had watching. If you're a Coyote fan, this is a tough one to swallow. They had like a 7-point lead with like 4 or 5 minutes left, and they Dixie finished on like a 12-3 run. South Dakota can't win on the road.
I was watching the Merrimack St. Mary's game during this. Locked in. Merrimack almost fucking won this on the money line.
I know.
Against St. Mary's. Also,
white kid couldn't miss. Holy shit.
Also, the prop that I gave out on Maroscus cashed. But Merrimack once again fights to the bitter end and falls just short. I don't know what they'll look like in conference play. I'm hoping they run the fucking table because they've been competing in every one of these bye games. But I'm a little bit nervous to if the late game issues where they just kind of fall apart at the end might stick around. I'm hoping that would just more of their level of competition. They'll be able to finish the jobs. That would be the only question mark I got on Merrimack because the defense is fucking legit for the Warriors.
I have no questions on them. I think they are the top of the MAAC. I think they're the best team. And I mean, the MAAC is still a fucked up league and anybody can beat anybody on that any night. but I think that they're in a tier of their own. They're 5-8 overall. They've played 3 home games. They've played every game on the road. They're
going to be an early cash cow.
They beat Vermont at home. Their only loss at home is to Princeton, who's good, and then they beat Boston at home. Every other game has been on the road, and they've won at Troy. They've won at Canisius. I know their average. They've already won 2 league road games because they played everybody else on the road. They were ready for the road when they got to league play.
Yeah, and they played this game without their starting 5-man, Edom. So we'll see. 100%. We'll see what Merrimack's got when they enter conference play here, but very excited. I've been playing them quite a bit because I've just caught a couple of their games, and they've played super hard, just fall apart late, and the record doesn't tell the full story. And you've been able to get some value on the line. And once again, like jumping into league play now, I just think that they're going to be undervalued as you look at them, and they're still 3 games under 500 here. Early on in the MAAC, Merrimack is going to be the team for me on Fridays because historically I have always sucked betting Friday slates with all of those MAAC games, the MAC games, the Mountain West games, the 2 Big East games that you get that are typical blowouts. But yeah, Merrimack's going to be my team for the first couple of weekends on Friday.
I got one thing to add, Noah. I spotlighted Sellers last night at Central Connecticut saying he deserves a look to – I mean, when you're at the NEC or the MAAC, you're looking to jump maybe to what? The A10 or something like that. Yeah, that mid-major plus with the way the ACC's fucking starting to come back down, maybe an ACC Boston College-like job. But I would say Gallo in his 8th year, he's – 148 and 105. They've transitioned from D2 to D1. They've ran the table, or they've won the Northeast 3 out of 5 years. They may win the MAAC. He should be up for an A10 job. If one of those, I don't know which ones are going to open. I don't know if maybe somebody leaves and then one opens. He's a Northeast guy. I definitely think he should definitely get a hard look this offseason. Brian is not wrong. I mean, if one of those really good CAA jobs opens that pays much more, that's a look. But I think he's A10 good. He's only 44 years old. He's doing a hell of a job.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I think the 2 that probably I would see making the change this offseason if things don't go well, Fordham, St. Joe's, and then others that I think have the potential of opening in the A10, Davidson, Duquesne, if they want to pull the trigger on year 1 on Joyce, because this hasn't gone well either. And then also, what was the third one that I had in mind?
I mean, Dunphy could retire at any year.
That was it. Like if he retires, if he goes out on his own, because I don't think they're gonna can him. So
and also, no, you don't know who. I mean, we're talking about jobs that we joked about the BC job potentially open. One of those guys in the A10 could get the BC job, and that opens up their job. So
correct.
But him and Sellers, I think, should be candidates for this A10 openings in the offseason.
Yeah, I think the perfect match for a guy like either Sellers or what were we just talking about? Yeah, Gallo would be Rhode Island, but Archie's actually having a good start to the season here. Because both of those are like Connecticut and Massachusetts, familiar with the region, but Rhode Island's actually doing all right now. So that's another A10 school to keep on a watch list there. So yeah, that was the slate. Colby texted me that I have to check and see if he wanted to say anything else here before we moved. He was talking about.
He didn't say anything else.
These were his locks for tomorrow. But he was saying you can't believe Belmont collapsed. But yeah. So game balls, and then we'll move to the picks for tomorrow, right? So you start off. Go with your first game ball.
Fuck, Merrimack deserves one, but I don't give them for runner-ups. So they deserved it with the way they played, though. UC Irvine is my first game ball. The comeback fashion, Turner and those guys keep rolling.
Yeah, that was. I think that was the best, most notable game and performance there with the double-digit comeback. I'm gonna hand it to what I thought was a really good game as well. Middle Tennessee holding off Lipscomb at home. They get the 2-point victory there, 67-65. Big win for the Blue Raiders.
Dixie State, baby. Coming back from 7 down late to beat South Dakota. Dixie's been knocking on the door. They're right there to beat Weber. Now they beat South Dakota. Great win for Dixie State.
All right. I'll take you to Norfolk State, just undressing Alabama State there. Good performance there in the first game of the Chris Paul MTE in the Mohegan Sun.
I like it. The Dogs covered a lot in the OVC 4-1 ATS, but only 1-1 on the money line, and that was Tennessee Tech. They lost their opener, so they covered their opener, or they pushed their opener, then they win the next one. Their back was against the wall tonight. You don't want to start 0-2 in league play. They go to Lindenwood, the prison, and get a big win.
Final game ball. Let's go with we spent some time on Cleveland State. I'll give them a game ball for a 17-point win against Oakland there after both you and Colby double locked the Golden Grays. Good upset victory there.
Campy could lose 20 or 10 in a row for me. I wouldn't care after that money line hit I had with Kentucky last year. So fuck you, Kentucky. I got to get a Kentucky or UConn jab in every show. So let's go Oakland.
Cross that off the task list there for Mac. And also go ahead and sign up with MyBookie AG and cross that off your task list as well. Because SGPN is brought to you by MyBookie.ag, and MyBookie has been running on SGPN for years. Check out their new and improved website, which is great on mobile, plus props for every game in the live dealer casino. You can even get new early cash out options. Head to MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Actually, we have a new promo code. It's TCE SGPN for those of you that are looking to get down on MyBookie.ag. TCE SGPN is our new show code. You can get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. Yes, that's correct. New show promo code for MyBookie.ag. 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That means you could get up to $2,000 into your MyBookie account as soon as you sign up, plus a $10 casino chip. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. And the college basketball experience is also partnered with Rhythm, the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. You can build your own model or copy one of the top-performing models from the leaderboard, and Rhythm will have a model ready for you. You can now track props in the Rhythm app, and Rhythm has models for NFL picks, NFL props, college football, college basketball, NBA. Rhythm literally has it all. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we are back here on the college basketball experience. Myself, Noah Bieniek, and Moneyline Mac getting ready to run through the slate for December 20th. Picking every game against the spread using MyBookie.ag lines here. And Colby even sent us slides. So
what a guy.
What a guy, Colby. Great job. And we'll see if he jumps in here to finish out the show. He did send us his locks. Mac, do you have the ability to pull those up as we go along, or do you already know them as we're going here?
Yeah, hold on. I have our text messages pulled up. I am putting them in our group chat on the side.
Actually, yeah, go ahead and text that to me. And here's what I'll do. I will put them into the ticker at the bottom of the show, because the reason why we don't even do this is because Colby's computer, for some reason, the fan gets worked up for it. But yeah, when we get to one of those games, I'll
This is one of his locks because it's a standalone game.
Yeah, the first two are his locks. So let's just operate the ticker right now. There are Colby's locks scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
Good job.
And here we go. Valparaiso plays Western Michigan in a standalone game here, tipping off at 1:00. I guess by Colby's definition, this is standalone because it tips first, but there is a game at 2:00 too. So, but yeah, he's saying that he's getting forced into betting this apparently. So he is on the Valpo side as they're getting 1.5 points in Kalamazoo against the Western Michigan Broncos. Mac, what are you doing in this game?
Are you locking this game?
Are you?
Well, yeah, you know I
am. I don't think this is a standalone game.
So you're picking between the two? Or are you going to give the people what they want and lock up this game?
No. I'm not even going to be awake for this game.
It's at fucking 1:00 Eastern. We have a lock battle. Colby is on the Crusaders. He's a Crusader now that he doesn't show up. He likes Valpo. I like the Bronx. Come to Kalamazoo. Get your ass beat. Let's go, kids. Get across the finish line. Take fucking Valpo on the road. What's he thinking? Let's go. Max should gets it done early and often.
Yeah, I'm going to take Western Michigan here with you. I think they'll win the battle on the glass here as they're pretty aggressive on the glass. So I'll take the Broncos -1.5. We move on to the next game here where Colby also has a bet. Is he listing this one as standalone too? He is. This one's at 2:00. The 1:00 game will be going on during the second half, so I don't know if it's standalone in my definition, but we've got the Houston Christian Huskies taking on Texas A&M. Texas A&M is -31 in this matchup, and Colby has bet Houston Christian. So, Mac, what are you going to do in this matchup?
Listen, man, I had Houston Christian on the money line the other day, and that was a great win for Craig Doughty in year number 1. They're about to get run the fuck out of the A&M has played traditionally with their food in this game. Actually, ironically, Noah, they played on the same day last year. Same exact day or same scenario. And Texas A&M was laying 34. They did not cover. They only won by 27. They're covering this year. They're much better. I will lock battle Colby again, and they'll go into Christmas with a little jolly old fella. A&M for me, Houston Christian for Dundee. Where are you going?
I don't love this spot. I think it's still just too many points. The buzzsaw doesn't really just destroy teams like this. Earlier this season, when they did play other bye games, they lost by 31 to Texas and 35 to Creighton. So I'll take the points, but again, don't really love this to jump on this in a quote-unquote standalone game here. Norfolk State and Grambling are the next matchup that we're going to talk about here for Friday's slate. This one tips at 4 p.m. Norfolk is -3, and Mac, this is like the championship game of this two-game bracket, 4-team MTE in the Chris Paul Invitational or something like that.
Grambling lost, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they were predetermined.
So it's just two matchups, and it's just a dumb get-together. Yeah. Not a fan. We need a winner. We need to give out a trophy.
So like I said, Grambling's been disappointing. They've broken everybody's hearts in the chat as a favorite. Now they're flipping over to a dog. Give me Grambling. Lock it up. They're going to win the game outright. They're going to knock off Norfolk.
Pass. I'm going Sparty. Norfolk State's actually got a couple of good wins on their resume this season. James Madison, UC Davis. They're up and down, but they're playing a really good schedule. Now that I think they're playing teams more of their competition, I think they're actually considerably better than Grambling State. The neutral court will keep Grambling in this game, I think. But Norfolk State was money yesterday on this floor, so why can't they do it again? I think I like Sparty here in this matchup.
You know how this goes. The back-to-backs on the neutral floor, it never gets success never gets duplicated on a back-to-back. Let's go. Grambling, lock it up. Bounce back. Grambling. I got confidence you guys are gonna right the ship tomorrow. Don't let me down again.
So Illinois Chicago plays Seattle at 5:00 tomorrow. And Seattle is a 6.5-point favorite. You can find a 5.5 out there, 6 out there. But on my bookie, 6.5 we're going with. And Mac, they're back at the crack house.
They are, but they actually have not been that good at the crack house this year. They've kind of sucked everywhere. I mean, they randomly won.
No, they only had the one loss at Liberty.
They randomly won at UC San Diego. Like, how the hell did they win at UC San Diego?
The only home loss that they have is Liberty.
Yeah.
The only other home game in D1 is Portland State. I think you're blowing smoke up my ass right now.
They haven't done anything at home.
They've only played 4 games and 2 of them against non-D1 teams.
They would have never lost to Liberty in the past at the crack
Illinois
house.
Coming off back-to-back overtime games against Dartmouth and Little Rock.
I do like Seattle. I'm
going to bet Seattle. Illinois Chicago has only hit the road 3 times this season. Northwestern, Little Rock, and they played a MTE 3 games in Daytona Beach, and they went 1-2. I'm ready to lock Seattle, so I'm going to do it. Give me the Red Storm or the Red Hawks, whatever they are now. The Red Hawks. And go shop around. There's a better number out there. Seattle, -6.5 there. I'm writing that down for later. Ryder and Penn. Is that next slide here? Yeah, Ryder and Penn do battle in Philly, Pennsylvania. Mac, Penn is -2.5 in this game.
Absolutely beautiful game, I should say. I am going to bet the Quakers.
Who?
The Quakers. I like the Quakers here at home. I saw them in person against VCU on the road. They've had 10 days off to right the ship a little bit here. They actually have not been playing the worst basketball in the world. I mean, at VCU, they're never going to win just because of that matchup. Drexel game got away late. They beat Maine last time they were at home, or actually they lost to Elon, but Elon's been pretty good this year. I like the Quakers, better coach. Give me Penn to get it done. I think they're favored for a reason.
I'm going Ryder. Not much conviction for me on either side of this game, but Ryder is my pick for that one. We've got Delaware State and Alabama State next.
I'm logging it up. Yeah, I got to say, I'm logging it up. The Quakers, home team.
We have Delaware State and Alabama State next in the Mohegan Sun, the CP3 get together for no winner, just 2 games. Doesn't care who they get matched up with. We got 1-1 or 1-0 teams playing 0-1 teams. It doesn't matter. Just 2 games. You only get 2 games. Whatever. I like Delaware State catching the points. I don't know why Alabama State's laying 5.5 here.
I'm on Alabama State. Everybody's going 1-1 in this event. Alabama State wins. This is a lock. This is telling. Why are they laying 5.5?
Great. You're crazy.
Oh, yeah. Alabama State rolls. Them and Grambling are coming through tomorrow. Bounce back on the HBCU Classic.
In case it makes you change your mind, Penn has gone up to 4.
Oh, God. Don't say that. These fuckers are watching the show, and every pick I give out, they fucking bet it up, those bastards.
No, I just didn't look at the updated line before I read it off on Colby's slide.
You're fucking lying. Everybody's watching the show right now. Make sure you subscribe, Jack. If you're going to bet my fucking games, at least subscribe. Or otherwise, I'm leaving on January 1st.
Gone. Sayonara. See you later. Holy Cross and Siena play here.
What the fuck?
I have no read on Siena right now, but they are laying 4.5 points against the Crusaders. You can get a 5.5 out there too.
It's a dead number, ain't it?
Yeah. They don't know what's going to happen either.
I think Siena's the right side. Holy Cross off the double-digit road dog win against Quinnipiac. Siena got their teeth kicked in. Siena's been all right against like competition. I'll take Siena. Who you taking?
I froze for a little bit, I think. Siena? Again, a game that I don't have a read on Siena at all right now, and just feels like, Holy Cross just beat Quinnipiac, who went to the NCAA tournament last year. Yeah, I'll go Siena. I don't love that though. Next game here is Yale playing Akron. Hell of a game. Is Colby's location? Yeah, El Paso. Why in the world are they in El Paso here? Hell of a matchup in the middle of nowhere where there's probably not going to be any fans here. Probably favors Yale, in my opinion. And they are favored by 3.5 here on the slide that Colby's created. Mac, your thoughts?
Akron wins. Akron's, I think, athleticism and size. I think they can bother Yale here and be more physical. They're off the Milwaukee game where they gave up 100 points. Rare spot where they kind of just laid down defensively. Yale coming in hot, beating Vermont. I like Akron here. I'll lock up the Zips to get it done on the neutral floor.
Their defense hasn't been that great this season. Traditionally, it's been better. This year, not so great. Like I said, I think the neutral site helps Yale because I think Akron's fan base, had this been a home game for Akron, they would have probably been they would have showed up, I would say. I think Yale wins this and covers.
You locking it?
No, you can play your music.
Dog it up. Game opened at 1.5. Stayed that. Looky CLV. Zip, 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 zip.
All right. We've got Longwood and NC Central. Colby has locked Longwood at -3.5. That's where we're picking this game here.
Do you know why?
No, I don't know why. Do you know why?
They played last Saturday. Central won as an 8-point underdog at Longwood. Now you got the return trip.
Central hung 112 on Mid-Atlantic Christian during the week.
Yeah. They're feeling too cocky. Longwood's going to get them. Longwood got embarrassed by him less than 7 days ago. Longwood's going to put it on him. I will lock up the Lancers. This would have been a sleepy spot for Longwood if they had not dropped the game at home. I'll lay it. I'll lock it. Lay that wood. Lay it hard during the holiday season. Let's go Longwood. What are you doing?
Yeah, and this is a good point from Clark too. It actually, I like it even more. Yale's leading scorer, John Pulakaitis. He's going to cash a check transfer at the end of the season. I guarantee you that's what's going to fucking happen. I mean, more power to him if he's wanting to use to redshirt and just cash the check as a grad senior or with 2 years of eligibility, maybe outside of the Ivy League. I think he should have done it prior to the season beginning, but I think the 1 game bump here for Yale, and then they're not going to be as good without him. He was a big piece of that team. We've got I like Longwood quite a bit there too. That one's a fringe lock for me. If I get to the end of the show and I don't have enough bets, I'm going to like Longwood there.
You don't have enough bets already. Everybody's on you.
St. John's plays Providence here.
And
Providence College is getting 6.5 points against the old ball coach.
Colby's doing?
The Johnnies. Colby has locked the Johnnies at -6.5.
Is he drunk?
They are laying 6 now, for what it's worth. St. John's laying 6 at Providence.
Hopkins or no Hopkins, Providence at the dunk as a dog is an auto play.
Do you know something I don't know with Hopkins here?
No, I mean, if he plays, that gives him a boost. If not, it'll be a little bit harder. They probably won't win, but this is going to be a one-possession game. This is the dunk Friday night. Rick Pitino coming back. This place is going to be on fucking fire. One-possession game, Providence lock.
I think they sat him against the Bonnies for this.
I think so too. I mean, they've selectively played him in big home games or get up spots in the Big East. So yeah. And St. John's just won by 40 the other night. They're feeling good. Colby's biased for the guy Rick Pitino here. Yo, trust the dunk. Friday night, tall boys.
Yeah, TVDBJ probably saying that Colby likes a revenge angle for Pitino, but yeah, I'm on Providence, but I gotta know Hopkins. What's up if he's gonna play or not here? Then I'm
fading the dunk, negative CLV or negative EV, whatever.
Don't fade the building.
Yeah, this is a building play. If I go down with the building, I go down with the building.
Correct.
And I mean, what is St. John's done on the road this year? I just thought of that.
Have they hit the road? They've played in the Bahamas.
Have they even hit the road?
This is their first true road game.
Oh my God! They're gonna scratch that. Providence, right?
What is Colby
doing? What is he doing? Oh man, he's lost his mind. He's lost his mind here.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I'm gonna take the double lock. I'm taking.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm taking the points. If Hopkins plays, they are winning the game. Yes. They are winning the game if he plays. I'm just saying it. Double lock music right here.
He's going against all his systems. He's got the blinders on for his guy Pitino.
That's a crazy move. That's a crazy move.
Providence is going to fuck him up, and then Pitino will have a nice, epic post-game rant to get his team focused coming out of Christmas. He's calculated. This is a scheduled loss. Providence big.
That is a scheduled loss. First road game of the season. He's a veteran coach. He's got to do better. He has to play a road game before the first Big East road game.
Even Kim English can win at the dunk. Everybody wins at the dunk.
Yeah, that is a great point. We've got App State doing battle with North Texas in Denton. Home game for North Texas after App State lost to Louisiana. Let's talk about that real quick, Mac. Your thoughts on Marlin getting canned today?
Bro, what the fuck? Did something come out why he got fired? Like, did
no? But I think there's more to the story.
Racist or sexist?
There has to be more to the story.
There's no way that he got fired without some scandal shit.
He got canned after a win. They won the Sun Belt home opener, and then he's done. He's
like that's a slap. That's a slap in the face of what he's done there for 15 years.
100%.
He should at least, if you're going to move on, be a man and move on from at the end of the year. I mean, come on, bro. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You're going to fire a guy that's been the best program in the Sun Belt over the last 15 years and been to NCAA tournaments? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
He has the best win percentage in the Sun Belt during his tenure at Louisiana. Longest tenured head coach currently in the Sun Belt until today. I don't know. Something happened. There's more to the story.
Had to have happened, man.
I'm crossing my fingers that that's the case, because if not, this is just idiotic to can him. Because if he stepped away due to health or something like that. It would have been the term stepped away from the program, or is handing it off to so-and-so as the interim here. But to say relieved of his duties to me means that the institution let him go. And I don't know. I just think it's the wrong move. Even if something happened, you just got to give him some time away for the holidays and then bring him back in, see how the situation goes. That would be how I would have handled it. But I don't know. So App State comes in here off the loss to U of L, and North Texas is laying 12.5 points after they just murdered Mississippi Valley State. Your thoughts?
Kind of like App State. App State, I mean, tough loss the other night against Louisiana. Louisiana was due, but they also played High Point recently tough. I think I'm going to lock App State. I think this is a single-digit game.
I'm locking this too. Both of these teams play really, really slow. Same play style. App State looking to drag it out, bring them into the muck, because I think North Texas is the better team this season. And North Texas welcomes that. They play at the 343rd tempo in the country this season, and they're typically always lethargically slow. I think that's going to allow App State to stay in this game. It's going to be a low-scoring game in the 60s, and the Mountaineers lose by less than 12.5. So I'm going to lock this as well with you.
Let's go. Let's go, Mountaineers. Kern's a good coach. Back-to-back losses. They're going to come in. That's great.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. We've got Dayton and Cincy next. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? I tried my darndest to find a picture of basketball being played at Heritage Bank Center for the thumbnail. This is a minor league hockey arena for the Cincinnati Blades, I believe it is. What are we doing? If you're going to play in Cincinnati, play it on campus, right?
Yeah, and then played at Dayton the next year. They played at that stupid arena last year, and Dayton did come in and beat them.
Good point. Dayton, though, off of the Marquette win, right?
Yeah.
Right. And
no, off UNLV.
Oh, same thing. 1 point win against UNLV, a tight one there. And Cincinnati still off the Xavier win. I have trouble handicapping the spot, Mac. You seemed confident in a side here.
Bearcats. Laid it out. Dayton beat them last year. Revenge. And I just think their size. I think their size wears them down. Dayton's playing their third emotional game in 6 days. Hard game. I mean, the Marquette game took a lot out of them, clearly. The UNLV game, I think, took a lot out of them, more than we think. I think this is where the Bearcats' size and athleticism just chokes them out here. Give me Cincinnati to win by 8 to 10 points. I'll look at the Bearcats.
I think there's a lot of hype on the Cincinnati team, and I don't know how good they are yet. Dayton's had a really good week, and I think it continues. I think they win the game outright.
Ooh, you want to battle?
Nah, I'm gonna pass because I am a little bit afraid of the two big games here they've had. It's a tough spot to handicap. Cincy off the Xavier win, Dayton off the 2 great games.
The Natty revenge angle.
All right, and Colby. This was a double lock with Colby. He had Cincinnati as well.
Yeah.
Jackson State plays UTEP tomorrow. This is also in El Paso, Texas. This is same building, Don Haskins Center, so maybe an MTE with Yale and Akron. Maybe I overlooked that. But the Tigers are catching 15.5 points against UTEP.
It's 13.5. I don't know where he got 15. I don't ever remember it being 15.5.
Okay. It is 13.5. I'm seeing even 13. So,
do we take UTEP?
Jackson State's not been very good this season. So,
yeah. I mean, UTEP played with their food the other night. Do they have anybody on deck?
It's probably an MTE.
They got Northern.
No, it's probably the winner of the other game.
Okay. Yeah, give me UTEP. I'll lay it. It's a lot of points to lay with UTEP, but I mean, they're coming off a bad game. They didn't play well Monday night. They should be laser focused here.
I think UTEP wins this game. It'll get comfortable though, and I don't think they're going to run it up because I think they'll probably have another game this weekend here in this MTE thing. Jackson State has not looked good. They played a bunch of bye games. Like, I understand the reason why they're 0-10, but under the hood, it's still not good in my opinion. I've watched a couple of these. The only one that I was slightly impressed with was Arkansas State, but Arkansas State had Memphis on deck. That was a total look ahead spot. I'm interested to see Jackson State once they get into SWAC play, but they're not a team that I want to jump onto the side here. So I'm hesitant, but I'm going to take the points. I just think UTEP wins this one comfortably, but they don't run it up here.
Okay.
Florida A&M plays BYU. This is in Provo, Utah. I like the squirt gun that Colby added to the bottom of this slideshow here.
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yeah. Do you know? Do you know where FAMU just played?
They just play Utah.
Yeah. This has not been a good strategy for some of these teams in buying games when they play BYU and Utah back to back. I will lock up BYU. They're going to win by 44.
They've had 3 days off. They played Utah on Tuesday.
What has FAMU been doing in Provo?
I don't know, dude. But it's not like
they don't fit it out there.
It's not like your Friday, Sunday though, where you'd typically see these teams go for the weekend. But yeah, chat's ripping on me for calling it a squirt gun. I called it a super soaker after that too. Don't worry. But yes, to me, when I see the picture, that's a squirt gun. Then I associate it with Colby's super soaker Dundeeism there. Yeah, BYU is probably the right team, right side here. 33.5. That one probably closes around 40, doesn't it?
Not gonna be like Go good.
All right, we've got one last game here on the slate: Southern and Loyola Marymount, and Loyola Marymount -7.5 on mybookie.ag. This line's all over the place for what it's worth. You can get some 6.5s, you can get some 8.5s. We're going to pick this thing at 7.5 here. So Southern is off of that Ole Miss game from Tuesday, traveling all the way out to California here. Mac, your thoughts?
I think Marymount's the right side. Yeah, they played really well against Ole Miss. This is a sandwich spot to get USC on deck. I kind of think Marymount wins by double digits. It's a fringe lock for me. What are you doing here?
So Marymount also just had a really tight win against UC Santa Barbara. Like I don't
comeback win.
Yeah, don't love this off of maybe a little bit of a letdown. I feel like Southern can compete in this one.
They do have a big home game Sunday against North Alabama.
I'm going to take Southern. Okay. I'm going to take the 7.5. And
off it.
What'd you say?
I think I'm just going to stay off it.
Okay. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to lock up Longwood at a fourth play to the slate because that's the show. And let's jump into our favorite plays of the night here. We've got Colby's locks scrolling across the bottom of the screen. He has Valparaiso, Houston Christian, Longwood, St. John's, Cincinnati. He locked up Southern and Jackson State.
Okay.
Mac, do you want to begin it off with your favorite plays tomorrow?
My favorite play is going to be the Providence Friars, 1. Number 2 is going to be the Cincinnati Bearcats, number 2. And then number 3, the Zips get it done against Yale, catching 3.5. They're going to win outright.
My favorite, before we get to my favorite 3 plays, go ahead and drop us a like and subscribe here on this video, YouTube-wise. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers before the new year. Go on and help us out there, or else this show's kaput off the airwaves, off of the YouTube platform. Anything else I want to say, plug before we get out of here for the TMZ folks?
Fucking quit being a lazy fucking subscribe. It takes 3 seconds. God damn, right. I see the numbers, how many people are watching. I know how many of you are not subscribed, and we ain't gonna make the deadline, so you're gonna have to go pay for picks. Good luck if that's what you want to do.
All right.
And if you want to fade us, well, you ain't gonna be able to fade us anymore. So it hasn't been very. It might actually help your bank account. So maybe you don't want to subscribe if you're in the fade crowd. But yeah, come on. We need to average what 57, 56 a day. We can get that easy.
Then what if you count the Christmas Day and the December 26th days where there's no action, Mac?
Well, then we got to pick up the slack these other 9 days where we don't have games. So quit being a lazy fuck and do something about it.
Yeah, the only day that we're taking off, by the way, folks, is Christmas. The 26th, we will have a futures episode, just like we did last year. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. We plan to be here after New Year's Day, but going to need that extra 700 subscribers. My favorite play tomorrow, Friday, December 20th, is Appalachian State plus 12.5 against North Texas. Both teams like to play it slow. Bottom 50 in tempo each. I just think it's a game in the 60s or the 50s. Mountaineers cover the plus 12.5 is my prediction there. I like Seattle in the crack house. It's only their 3rd game against a D1 opponent at home. Minus 6.5. And then Providence plus 6.5. Home opener in the Big East. St. John's first road game of the season. That's just automatic play in my book. And if Bryce Hopkins plays, they could be live on the money line here. Mac, we're being alerted from the YouTube chat that we missed a game.
We did, and I was putting my picks into tally site, and I'll lock up the Peacocks at home, playing 2.5 against Delaware.
Yeah, I like St. Peter's in that game too.
I think they're way better than their record. I think they're way undervalued. So yeah, give me the Peacocks. Thank you, chat, so that you can get that last one in there.
Yeah, that's a good game that we almost missed. Colby's slideshow, I guess, was missing a game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Alfred saying that we don't care about the chat anymore. It's just because I'm hosting the show and I can't be flicking through all of the comments. They happen so fast, guys. We've got 500 of you guys across all platforms tuned in, 300 of you on YouTube right now. It's tough to keep up with, I have to admit, when you're hosting a show. So Mac has locked St. Peter's Maximus. So yes, Mac.
I'm locking Marymount. I'm at it. It's the last game of the night. I'm getting a bet in Marymount. I'm locking too. So check the picks page. I may bet them all tomorrow. I feel good. Seeing the board well.
Alrighty, that's gonna wrap up today's show. Good stuff. Tomorrow we will be back. So no pregame show. We've decided so Colby's gonna go live with a college football pregame show. It'll be branded college football. He'll include some of the basketball games for the smaller slate here, only 16 games. So tomorrow live, I think he's going to rock with that 6 o'clock. I don't know what time slot he's going to go with, but tomorrow, Indiana Notre Dame pregame show, but he's also going to talk some college basketball games, these games that he has at the bottom. He'll go in depth on the schedule and the plan for tomorrow night. So Mac is going to join Colby for a post-game show, recap show on the Notre Dame-Indiana game, the Hoosier State football battle in the college football playoff. And then shortly after that, like 20 minutes after, we're going to go live with a college basketball pick show for this mega loaded Saturday slate here. We've got 70-something, 80-something games to run through. So that will be after the recap show for just that one college football game. It'll be 20-minute long show basically. And then we'll jump into the monster that we've got to cover for Saturday. Plenty of great games that we can't wait to cover, including a CBS Sports Network 4-team battle. I think that kind of headlines the day there. So yeah,
There's some good ones.
Yeah, follow my friend here, Ryan McIntyre, at moneyline_Mac on Twitter, X, social media platforms. You can do so the same for me at NoahB77_. You can follow Colby Dant at the Colby D. You can follow the show at TCE on SGPN. This has been the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we are out of here.